He says, "We will together bring ruin upon all those who oppose us. This world shall be ours. So swears Megatron."
We now return to the Transformers.
Hey, what's up everyone? James here, and I'm coming at you with the final series in the Autocracy trilogy, Primacy. This final series is amazing. It might be the best in the trilogy. If you are new here or behind and need to catch up and haven't watched the two previous series, Transformers Autocracy and Monstrosity, that I've covered on the channel, check out the IDW Transformer Timeline playlist I'll have in a pinned comment down below. You can watch all the videos separately or check out the full story videos I made of them in the playlist. With that being said, let's get into it. So, Primacy begins with recapping the events of Monstrosity. It says it began with a catastrophe that devastated Cybertron's energon reserves. This led many Cybertronians to give up on Cybertron and leave, an event that would be known as the Great Exodus. However, the pain and suffering Cybertron would endure did not end there. Scorponok, who betrayed Megatron and took over the Decepticons, awakened the Titan of Death and Horror, Trypticon. It rampaged across the planet until the most dangerous Cybertronian alive returned to Cybertron, Megatron, who saved the planet by ending Scorponok's reign of destruction and by helping Grimlock stop the mighty Titan. Now, all is quiet on Cybertron, but this peace will not last for long. Our story really begins at McAdam's Oil House, which is basically a bar on Cybertron. Everyone is watching Blaster's broadcast. He is sharing the report given by the Conclave of Representatives on the crisis that took place in Harmonex, basically Trypticon's rampage. Now, the reason why the Autobots government is called the Conclave of Representatives now and not the Grand Convocation anymore is because it basically failed after Atlas and the Circle of Light left, so it was restructured and renamed. It's really Optimus trying to introduce a more democratic form of government on Cybertron. Now, this report displays Optimus's administration is using the same media tactics as the former administration under Sentinel and Zeta Prime used before. The report claims that Optimus and the Autobots defeated Trypticon, which we know isn't true, but honestly, this is what they should report. They can't mention Grimlock because he and the Dinobots are essentially ghosts, and reporting that Megatron helped defeat Trypticon wouldn't make their administration look too good. It might even gain him more supporters. Also, Blaster mentions that there are bots claiming the media is being kept away from Harmonex, and the Conclave has refused to reveal the total number of bots who left during the Great Exodus. So Blaster poses the question to the people, is Optimus's administration lying to them? And if so, are they just as bad as all the others before them? Now, who is at McAdam's Oil House that was missing in action in Monstrosity that we finally get to see again is Hot Rod. He is fresh out of the Autobot Academy and is here having this debate with his friend at the bar about whether they can trust Optimus's government or not. Hot Rod argues that he doesn't care for the Conclave, but he believes in Optimus Prime. He knows that the Decepticons want to just burn everything, and he's seen enough things burn. Moments later, when he leaves the bar, this shadowy figure approaches, who turns out to be Slinger. He reveals he's part of the Decepticons now and considers them the real people's movement. They fixed him up, gave him a new form, and made him into a fighter. He tells Hot Rod that wearing the Autobot badge is a disgrace to everyone who died in Nyan. Hot Rod fires back, telling Slinger not to judge him and that he knows he had no choice that day. Slinger makes it clear to Hot Rod that from here on out, he needs to watch his back. Now, this switch up from Slinger is legit out of nowhere. It really doesn't make any sense. And even him judging Hot Rod for blowing up Nyan doesn't make sense. I'm kind of going to go on a tangent here and explain this, but if you don't care, you can just skip this part using the chapters below. So, back in Autocracy Chapter 6, initially Hot Rod hesitated on activating the phase chargers to blow up Nyan, until Slinger said, "It is better that our people die at our hands than be drained to serve Zeta's war machine." At the end of Autocracy, Slinger told Bumblebee that he and the survivors of Nion would essentially become chroniclers of Cybertron's history. Then, going into Monstrosity, the last time we saw him, he was a part of the Grand Convocation, representing Cybertronians who are unaligned with any faction. It's for those reasons why I say this big shift in his character doesn't make any sense. I wish this big shift in Slinger were built up instead of popping out of nowhere. But let me know what you all think about this change in his character. Anyways, now in Cybertron's southern polar region, we see Optimus and Ironhide scaling the Grav Haran Glacier that has stood there for 50 million years. It's a place that hasn't been visited in millions of years. Prime is here because he wants to clear his mind after the events of Monstrosity, and he's also here to train and test his limits. And I like this a lot because though the Transformers are these super advanced robots, they don't get better by installing new programs or new software. And yes, of course, they can gain power through objects or modifying their forms. Still, at the end of the day, they need to become stronger just like us by working towards it. Eventually, Optimus and Ironhide reach the summit. Ironhide detects they're not alone. Using his binoculars, he sees a huge object on the horizon, giving off a serious energon signature. They end up going to investigate. Meanwhile, at Iacon in Metroplex, Hot Rod arrives, where he learns at Ultra Magnus and Cup are anxiously waiting for Ratchet and Wheeljack's energon purification treatment on the Dinobots to be finished. Grimlock is the last one being treated, and they're slightly worried that it may not work since Grimlock's energon corruption ran the deepest. They shortly see the treatment was successful. When Grimlock emerges from the operating room, not only did Wheeljack and Ratchet clear the Dinobots of the raw corrupt energon, but also re-engineered them back to their old forms when they were in the Primal Vanguard. Now, how a drill sergeant doesn't show respect to a fresh recruit in the military, Grimlock kinda does the same thing here to Hot Rod. When Hot Rod voices how he can't wait to kick some Decepticon butt alongside the Dinobots, Grimlock basically tells him they're not on the same level, and that he has to prove himself first before he gets any respect. Transitioning back to Ironhide and Optimus, after traversing the glacier, they finally reach the source of the energon signature they detected, which is revealed to be a huge bot that Optimus immediately recognizes. This bot is an Omega Sentinel. Now, some of you I'm sure already know who this is. I might even put this in the title of the video, but I'm not going to say who it is just yet. So for those of you who don't know about the Omega Sentinels, in the Transformers IDW universe, they are ancient beings that were the first generation of Guardian robots. They were tasked with being the guardians of Crystal City, where the 13 Primes reigned. At one point, they were even used to conquer other planets. They're somewhat similar to the Omega Destructors we saw back in Autocracy, who are basically the second generation of Guardian robots. Optimus tries to greet the mighty bot, and though it's surprised to see other beings, it immediately points its blaster at Optimus and Ironhide, demanding it must not be disturbed because it's waiting for the Prime's return. Initially, it doesn't believe Optimus when he says he is the Prime until he reveals he carries the Matrix of Leadership. This is where Optimus discovers the exact Prime the Sentinel has been waiting to return is Nova Prime, the original Prime who united Cybertron. I won't go into detail on Nova Prime in this video because I plan on eventually making a video of an issue that gives his origin and history on Crystal City, amongst other things that's really cool. Optimus informs the Sentinel that Nova and his expedition have been lost for millions of cycles. He asks the Sentinel to join them and serve the people again. It agrees to join him and vows to follow the bearer of the Matrix. It offers to take them back to Iacon. After it transforms, Optimus asks, "What shall we call you?" The Sentinel answers, "Supreme. I am Omega Supreme." Yes, Optimus has gained the leader and strongest of the Omega Sentinels. From there, we go to my favorite part in this issue. Megatron with his Decepticon forces still at the ruins of Harmonex. Remember, Monstrosity ended with Megatron giving Trypticon Hentius' spark, reviving the Titan of Death. And since then, Megatron has reflected on everything that transpired in Monstrosity and has had a revelation. He shares it with Trypticon as the beast sleeps. He explains that Scorponok believed Trypticon was just a mindless beast of destruction, just wanting to unleash its fury on Cybertron, hoping it would eliminate the weak from the world. But he was wrong. Chaos isn't what will transform Cybertron, but control. He says we will together bring ruin upon all those who oppose us. This world shall be ours. So swears Megatron. He mentions how he can feel Pentius' spark coursing within Trypticon. And the reason why he can feel it is because Megatron still has remnants of Pentius' spark within himself. So he and Trypticon sort of share a spark bond. Suddenly, Trypticon awakens and calls him Wanderer as Pentius did. When Megatron asks if he is Pentius, Trypticon answers no and yes. Really, I would say he is a combination of both. He agrees with Megatron that Cybertron will be theirs, but they will have to burn the world first and create a perfect one from the ashes. He questions Megatron if he has the will to do this. Megatron brushes over his resolve being questioned because he is more focused on Pentius possibly being in control of Trypticon, since he really can't be trusted. He asks Trypticon how much of Pentius lives inside of him. Trypticon answers that his memories are scattered, dark flashes of the ages long past. All he can remember are feelings of cruelty, malice, and hatred for everything that lives. Megatron becomes furious because it doesn't answer the question if these are Trypticon's memories or Pentius. Through the spark bond they share, Trypticon shows Megatron the memories he sees. In these memories, Megatron sees Trypticon striding across a vast, desolate, lifeless field where Cybertron's first battle took place, the Battle of Gods. He sees another world, Junkion, breaking apart, pieces of it drifting into the void of space, taking with it the people's dreams and aspirations. He sees devils, the quintessence, bringing death to entire civilizations and birthing monstrosities. Countless worlds burning cycle after cycle. The memories begin to overwhelm Megatron, and he orders Trypticon to stop. Trypticon tells Megatron that he will understand in time the scale of such evil. The memories don't shake Megatron's determination. He explains they only confirm what he's known all along, that the universe is split between those that are weak and those that are strong. He says, "Serve me well, Trypticon, and rise." When the Decepticons arrive, Megatron gives this awesome speech. He says, "War is coming, my Decepticons. Our final hour of vengeance draws near, but many of our forces were scattered when the Autobots retook Iacon from us, and many others abandoned the Decepticon cause when Scorponok took control of leadership. In short, our numbers are too few to launch a full-scale assault on the Autobots. For now, with the aid of the mighty Trypticon, we will leave Cybertron and gather our full strength. Gather our long-lost brethren back into the fold." Later, flying above Taraxis aboard Skylynx, Hot Rod informed Skylynx that Magnus wanted them to fly over Harmonex after they were done in order to see Trypticon's condition. We see through the lens of Hot Rod and Grimlock that the Autobots rebuilt the Taraxis mega refinery. It's drawing on the raw volatile energon they discovered deep beneath the caverns and are able to purify it at an accelerated rate, solving the issue of the energon shortage crisis they were facing. Hot Rod sees it as hope and power for Cybertron, but Grimlock doesn't. They get into an argument here, and Grimlock explains he could never look at it that way because the Taraxis caverns and the energon took away his best friend and turned him into a monster. Hot Rod's response to this shows us not only how much he's grown since Autocracy, but also shows us how he's starting to sound like Optimus. He reminds Grimlock that he and the Dinobots are cured and have a fresh start, that holding on to all that pain and guilt will just burn up inside of him. This enrages Grimlock, and he tells Hot Rod he knows nothing of guilt and pain, which we know isn't true. If anyone else carries a lot of guilt and pain, it's Hot Rod. The guy had to kill his own people. Suddenly their argument gets interrupted when Skylynx tells them to look outside, and that's when they both see Trypticon is gone. At that moment, in orbit above Cybertron, Megatron and the Decepticons are aboard Trypticon, ready to depart and bring back the mightiest army this universe has ever seen. That's the end of Primacy Part 1. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you made it to the end, please hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe if you are new here. This is only the beginning of the end to this awesome trilogy. Other than that, have an awesome day, and always remember every day to transform and go beyond. See you later, Beyonders.